Hey there. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Fuchsa with Foot Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. So I get this question a lot, and most recently I got it again last night. And as some of us at certain ages, our parents are starting to age a little bit, and they're starting to think about planning in case something happens. And so I get the question a lot about what happens if my parents want to add me to their ownership, or how can I help them protect their ownership? What does that mean? What does it look like? And how is it structured? So, there's a lot of different things that you can do. But the most direct thing that you can do is if your parents specifically want to make sure that their property is protected, that they can add you to their will. But another more direct way that they could do that is they could actually add you to the ownership of their property. Now, as with anything, there's pros and cons to doing that. It depends on what you're trying to achieve. But let's just start on the simple level. Let's say that your mom and dad, you're an only child, and your mom and dad want to add you to the ownership of the property in case something happens to them. So all that has to be done is a deed has to be prepared, transferring the ownership of the property from just the two of them to the two of them and you. And that can be just as simple as preparing a deed. Everybody, they have to sign it, that actually transfers the ownership, and then it's recorded in the land records where that property is located. And then once it's recorded, or once it's signed and it's recorded, then you are now an owner with them. And we've talked about before about different forms of ownership when several people own a piece of property, and we can talk about that at a future time, but I wanted to talk about this specifically for just a few minutes. The other thing that you can do is know that some parents, especially as they get elderly, may think about all different types of things with respect to their property, and maybe they don't want to add you to the ownership because they're afraid that you may kick them out of the property, or they don't want to give you their property because they're still living there and they want to make sure that their ownership is protected. And there's a form of ownership called a life estate that your parents can do, where they do add you to the ownership of the property, but they specifically retain an ownership for their life. It's called a life estate, and they can do whatever they want with that property for as long as they're alive, meaning they can sell it, they have total control over it, but you are on the ownership of the property. So if something happens to them, then automatically it goes to you, but it keeps them still in control. Some parents, as they age, feel a little uncomfortable that if they add you to the ownership without retaining something such as that you can go sell the property out from under them. Not that you would do that. Obviously, the fact that they're considering adding you means that they don't even think that you would do that. But then they start thinking about all kinds of things. They're talking to other friends, and so then that water gets a little bit muddy. So in that instance, I would suggest that considering doing a life estate might be a really good idea. And there's different ways with the life estate that you can do things as well. So that's a good option to look at. Obviously, if they add you to their will, then the property would be transferred to you when they pass away, but you have to go through an estate process, and in different states the rules are different about that, and so you may have to pay some estate taxes. There may be a lot of different things that come into play, but so I would recommend that you might consider having them add you to the ownership of the property, add a life estate in there, and there's some different options there. So for more information like this, or to find out more about something like this, you can reach out to me individually. We can have a direct conversation, which several people that I know recently have. And most recently, last night, I got a direct message from someone that I knew in the past that has a similar kind of question. So reach out to me individually. You can also go to our website, www.foottitlegroup.com, where there's lots of resources under the buyers and sellers tabs. There's a resource tab, and there's lots of information there that could help you understand this. Or reach out to any of our team members. They're also all very well versed in this information as well. So hopefully I helped answer a question for you today, or maybe you think about something that you didn't quite understand and maybe you want some more information about. Remember, we're giving away those Coffee with Connie mugs one every month for the person who does the most sharing of our broadcast. So if you found what we talked about interesting, please hit that share button. You'll enter into the drawing, but more importantly, you'll help other people that you know understand something that might be important to them. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I look forward to talking to you again real soon. Thank you so much for tuning in to Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Fuchsa with Foot Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. Talk to you soon, guys. Make it a fantastic day. Bye-bye.